On the morning of my wedding, I walked into the bridal suite and froze. My wedding dress was torn to shreds. The white lace lay scattered across the floor like snow, and the pearl beads I had sewn by hand were ripped off. Tiny beads rolled away like tears. I stood there in my silk robe, unable to believe what I was seeing. My name is Patricia, and this was just the start of how my sister Laura ruined what should have been the happiest day of my life. Oh my God, Patricia. Amy burst through the door, her bridesmaid dress swishing around her knees. You need to see what's happening downstairs. I followed her down the big staircase of the venue we had spent months choosing. I heard the whispers before I saw anything. Guests stood in small groups, their faces showing shock and pity. My mother stood in the middle of the room with her hand over her mouth, while my father argued with someone from the catering company. I'm so sorry, but we got a call to cancel the whole order, the caterer said. The call came from the bride's number. That's impossible, I said quickly. I never. Before I could finish, Amy's voice cut through the noise. My fiancé was standing by the entrance with his best man. His face was pale. We need to talk, he said quietly. He led me to a corner, his hands shaking as he pulled out his phone. I've been getting these messages all morning from different numbers, he said. On his screen were dozens of texts, each with screenshots of what looked like private chats between me and my ex-boyfriend. The photos were clearly fake, but they looked real enough to cause doubt. Tell me these aren't real, Logan whispered. Of course they're not real, I said. Logan, you know me. I thought I did, he said, stepping back and running a hand through his hair. But then Laura showed me something. My stomach turned cold. Laura? What does my sister have to do with this? She came to me this morning, Patricia, he said. She said she couldn't stay quiet anymore. She showed me proof that you were meeting him and planning to leave me after getting access to my bank accounts. In that moment, everything clicked. The ripped wedding dress, the canceled catering, the perfectly timed fake messages. It was all planned by my own sister. Where is she? I demanded, looking around the room. But Laura was nowhere to be seen. Amy rushed to my side, holding her phone. It's worse, she said. Someone has posted all these lies online. They're going viral in our social circle. The room began to spin. 300 guests, family, friends, co-workers, all watching this disaster unfold. All believing the lies. Logan, please, I begged, reaching for his hand. You know this isn't true. We've been together for 4 years. You know me. But he pulled away, his eyes full of doubt. I need time to think. I'm sorry, Patricia. I can't do this today. I watched him walk out, his best man following behind. The whispers grew louder, and I noticed phones pointed at me. My mother came forward, tears running down her face. Why didn't you tell me you were having doubts? She asked. Mom, this is all fake. Can't you see? Laura did this. Don't blame your sister, she sighed. She's only trying to protect the family from scandal. That's when I saw her. Laura stood at the top of the stairs with a fake look of concern. Our eyes met, and for a split second, her mask slipped. The corner of her mouth curled into a smirk before she quickly covered it with her hand. I think we should start asking guests to leave, my father said, his voice heavy with disappointment. I stood in the middle of the chaos, watching my perfect day fall apart. Years of planning were gone in just a few hours. My relationship was broken by lies, and my reputation was ruined. Amy squeezed my hand. What do you want to do? I took a deep breath and stood tall, even though tears threatened to fall. I looked up at Laura one more time. She thought she had broken me. She thought this was her big victory. I want everyone out, I said, my voice stronger than I felt. And then I want to start planning. Planning what? Amy asked. I turned to my best friend, a fire growing in my chest. My comeback. Laura thinks she's won, but she has no idea what she started. This isn't over. 4 months after my ruined wedding, I sat across from Amy at our favorite coffee shop. I spread business cards and brochures across the table. You're really serious about this wedding planning business? She asked, stirring her latte and giving me a doubtful look. Most people would stay far away from weddings after what happened. Most people haven't had their own sister destroy their wedding in such a big way, I said, tapping one of the cards. Look, I already have my first client, booked through your mom's friend. Are you sure you're ready? She asked. The bell above the shop door rang, and I quickly lowered my head. Since that day, I had gotten used to avoiding eye contact in public. The whispers had mostly faded, but the shame still stayed with me. I have to be ready, I said, straightening up. I can't hide forever. Besides, who better to plan a wedding than someone who knows exactly how one can go wrong? Amy's phone buzzed. She glanced at it and frowned. Speaking of wrong, Laura just posted another vacation photo with Liam. They look sickeningly happy. Delete her from your social media, I said firmly. I deleted her the day after the wedding, I said. Your mom keeps asking when you'll talk to her again. I stacked my papers into a neat pile. Maybe when hell freezes over, or when she admits what she did. Whichever comes first. The next morning, I stood in front of my first clients, a young couple engaged for 7 months. The bride, Nicole, clutched a wedding magazine, while her fiancé, Lawrence, looked like he would rather be anywhere else. So, I began. Tell me about your dream wedding. Nicole leaned forward. I want something different. Everyone does beach weddings or garden parties. I want our day to stand out. I had to bite back a laugh. Trust me, I know all about unforgettable weddings. Nicole's eyes widened. Wait, aren't you the one who now runs the most detail-focused wedding planning service in the city? I cut in smoothly. Yes, that's me. And I can promise every part of your wedding will be checked, double-checked, and locked down. 3 hours later, I had my first signed contract. As I walked to my car, my phone rang. My heart skipped a beat when I saw the name Logan. We hadn't spoken since that day. Hello, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Patricia, he said, sounding tired. I've been thinking a lot about what happened. I should have trusted you. I should have known better than to believe those messages. I've been looking into it, and there's proof they were fake. I tried to tell you that 4 months ago, I said. I know. He paused. I miss you, Patricia. Those were the words I had wanted to hear for months, but instead of happiness, I felt something else. Strength. I'm sorry, Logan, but I can't go back. You didn't trust me when it mattered most. I'm building something new now. That evening, I went to Amy's apartment. She opened the door and saw me smiling from ear to ear. Okay, what happened? You look like you just won the lottery. I flopped onto her couch. I signed my first clients, and I turned Logan down when he called to get back together. He called? Amy's eyes widened as she sat down. He said he should have trusted me, I replied. But you know what? In a strange way, I'm thankful for what happened. It showed me who really had my back, I said. Amy handed me a glass of wine. Speaking of having your back, your mom called me. Laura's engaged to Liam. The wine glass stopped halfway to my lips. The wedding's in a year, she went on. Your mom wants you to be there. I set the glass down slowly. Of course she does. Because we all have to pretend we're one big happy family. Are you going to go? I stood and walked to Amy's window, looking out at the city lights. Below, a wedding party spilled out of a restaurant, their laughter rising into the night. The bride's white dress glowed under the streetlight. You know what? I turned back to Amy. I think I will, but not as the bitter, betrayed sister. I'm going to go as the best wedding planner this city has ever seen. By then, everyone will know my name for the right reasons. Amy raised her eyebrows. That's either the healthiest or the most terrifying answer you could have given. I picked up my wine glass and smiled. Why not both? To new beginnings. To new beginnings, Amy echoed. And to karma being patient, I added. Later, we were sorting through old family photos when Amy asked, Remember when Laura cut up your favorite dress before your 8th grade dance? I laughed without humor. Guess the pattern was there all along. I held up a photo of us at that dance, me in a borrowed dress, her in a designer gown, smiling like she owned the world. Mom always said I was being dramatic when I blamed her. Speaking of your mom, Amy held up her phone. She wants us both over for dinner tonight. Says it's important. 7 hours later, we pulled up to my childhood home. Through the window, I saw my mother arranging flowers on the dining table, her nervous habit. We can still leave, Amy offered.
No.
Let's get this over with. Inside, my mother hugged me tightly. Patricia, sweetheart, and Amy, thank you for coming. What's so important, Mom? She fidgeted with her necklace. Well, I thought we should talk about Laura's engagement party next month. She wants you to. No. I cut her off. Whatever it is, no. She wants you to be her maid of honor. The room went silent. Even the old grandfather clock seemed to stop ticking. Are you kidding me? I said. I laughed, but it came out sharp. After what she did? Patricia, she's your sister, Mom said softly. She feels terrible about your wedding. Feels terrible? Has she admitted what she did? Has she apologized? Mom's face fell. She says there's nothing to admit. She thinks you're imagining things. Classic, Amy muttered. The doorbell rang, making us all jump. Mom's eyes widened. Oh, I should mention, Laura and Liam are joining us. Before I could react, the front door opened and Laura's voice filled the hallway. Mom, sorry we're late. She walked in with Liam behind her, wearing an expensive dress and a huge engagement ring that sparkled under the light. Patricia, she said brightly, moving toward me as if to hug me. I stepped back. Don't. Liam shifted awkwardly. Maybe we should give them some space. No need, Laura cut in. Patricia's just being dramatic as usual. Dramatic. I felt my control slipping. Was I being dramatic when you destroyed my wedding dress? When you faked those messages? Laura turned to Mom. She's still making up stories. Patricia, I know you were stressed about the wedding, but blaming me for your cold feet. Shut up. The words came out quiet but sharp. Just shut up. Girls, Mom pleaded. Please, can't we move past this? Laura wants you in her wedding party. It's a chance to heal. A chance to what? I stood up. A chance for her to humiliate me again? To finish what she started. Patricia, Liam said gently, stepping forward. I know things are tense, but Laura's told me how much she misses you. I looked at him closely. He seemed genuine, kind, just like Logan had been. Liam, has she told you what really happened at my wedding? Laura's smile faltered. There's nothing to tell. Patricia got cold feet and my phone buzzed. It was a text from Logan. We need to talk. It's about Laura. I have proof. I showed the message to Amy, whose eyes went wide. Well, I said, grabbing my things, this has been enlightening. Mom, I'm sorry, but I won't be in Laura's wedding party. I won't be at her wedding at all, I said. You're just jealous, Laura snapped, her perfect mask starting to crack. You can't stand that I'm happy, that I'm getting married, when your wedding fell apart. I turned to her slowly.
No, Laura.
I'm not jealous. I'm successful. I'm healing. And I'm done letting you twist the truth. Patricia, Liam called as I reached the door. Whatever happened between you two, can't you forgive her for the family's sake? I looked back at my sister, her expensive dress, her perfect makeup, her carefully built lies. Some things don't deserve forgiveness, Liam. Some deserve consequences. Outside, Amy grabbed my arm. What did Logan say? What proof does he have? I showed her the rest of his message. He found the person who helped her fake those screenshots. They're willing to talk. Holy, Amy breathed. What are you going to do? I glanced through the window. Inside, Laura was comforting our crying mother, playing the role of the hurt, misunderstood sister perfectly. I'm going to wait, I said. Let her plan her perfect wedding. Let her think she's won. And then we'll see who's being dramatic. And that, I finished, is how we saved the Anderson wedding after the venue flooded. The young couple across my desk exchanged impressed looks. No crisis is too big when you're ready for it. My phone buzzed with another notification, another 5-star review. In just 7 months, I'd become the city's go-to wedding planner for handling disasters. After my clients left, Caleb poked his head into my office. As one of the few mutual friends who'd stayed neutral during the fight with Laura, he'd been sending me referrals. "Got a minute?" he asked, closing the door. "Sure," I said, gesturing for him to sit. "There's something you should know about Laura's engagement," he began. "Liam's ex-girlfriend reached out to me. She says Laura started going after him while they were still together. Used some familiar tactics." My stomach sank. What kind of tactics? Fake messages. Edited photos. Sound familiar? Before I could respond, my phone rang. Logan's name lit up the screen. "Sorry, I need to take this," I said, waiting until Caleb stepped out before answering. "Logan." "I met with the guy," Logan said right away. "The one who helped Laura fake those messages. He kept proof of everything, Patricia." I gripped the edge of my desk. Why is he coming forward now? Apparently, she never paid him the full amount she promised. A knock at my door cut him off. Amy walked in, waving an envelope. "You got your official invitation to the wedding of the year," she said sarcastically. "I'll call you back," I told Logan. Amy handed me the cream-colored envelope. Inside was an over-the-top wedding invitation with gold foil details. "Classic Laura," I muttered. "Always has to outdo everyone." "Are you going to RSVP?" Amy asked. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed with a text from Caleb. "Liam's ex wants to meet. Says there's more you should know." "Yes," I said, grabbing my phone. "I think I will." 3 days later, I sat across from Isabella, Liam's ex, in a quiet cafe. She looked nervous, stirring her coffee without drinking it. "I thought I was losing my mind," she said. The messages looked so real. Liam swore he never sent them, but there they were, timestamps and everything. "Then I saw what happened at your wedding, and it all made sense." "Did you tell Liam?" I asked. She shook her head. He wouldn't believe me. Laura had already convinced him I was unstable and jealous. Sound familiar? My phone lit up with another text from Logan. "Meeting set with the tech guy tomorrow. You should be there." Isabella leaned forward. "There's something else. The timing of their engagement. It's not what everyone thinks." "What do you mean?" "They got engaged the week before your wedding. Laura made Liam keep it secret. She said she didn't want to steal your thunder." I felt the blood drain from my face. She was engaged when she destroyed my wedding. Isabella nodded. "She wanted both spotlights, yours and hers. But she couldn't stand sharing attention." Back at my office, Amy was waiting with lunch. "You look like you've seen a ghost," she said, handing me a sandwich. "More like I've seen the truth," I replied, telling her what Isabella had said. "That's sick," Amy muttered. "So, what's your plan?" I pulled out Laura's wedding invitation. "First, I'm going to RSVP yes. Then I'm meeting with Logan and the tech guy tomorrow. And then, I'm going to plan the perfect wedding gift for my dear sister."
My phone rang.
Laura's name flashed on the screen. I put on speaker. "Patricia, you RSVP'd. Mom's going to be so happy." "Wouldn't miss it for the world," I said sweetly. "I know we've had our differences, but this means so much to me. Maybe you could even help with some of the planning. You're so good at it now." I caught Amy's eye. She was making fake gagging motions. "Actually," I said, "I'd love to help. I've learned so much about what can go wrong at weddings and how to prevent it." "Perfect. Let's have lunch tomorrow, just us sisters." "Sorry, I have an important meeting tomorrow. But soon." After I hung up, Amy stared at me. "You're playing with fire." I ran my finger over the raised date on the invitation.
No.
I'm playing her game. And this time I know all the rules. My phone buzzed again. A text from Isabella. Found the original messages. The ones she deleted. "Still want to see them?" "Yes," I typed back. Every single one. The pieces were falling into place. Laura wanted a perfect wedding. I'd make sure she got exactly what she deserved. The tech guy, who only introduced himself as Robert, spread a stack of printouts across the coffee shop table. Logan sat beside me, his jaw tight as he looked over the papers. "These are the original message logs," Robert explained, pointing at the timestamps. "See how they don't match the screenshots Laura shared? That's because she used software to create fake conversations and backdate them." And you helped her do this? I asked. Robert shifted in his seat. She paid well, or was supposed to. She said it was just a prank between sisters. Some prank, Logan muttered. My phone buzzed again. A text from my mother. Laura's trying on wedding dresses today. Please come, she misses you. There's more, Robert said, opening his laptop. The emails she sent to your caterers and vendors, canceling all the services. I tracked the IP addresses, Robert said. All from her home computer. Can you prove it was her specifically? Logan asked. Better, Robert replied. I have the original emails she sent me, asking how to do it. Before I could answer, a new message popped up on my phone from Isabella. Found something interesting about Liam's company. Your sister's been busy. The coffee shop door chimed, and I looked up to see my mother walk in. Patricia, I thought that was your car outside. She spotted Logan and froze. Oh, I didn't realize. Robert quickly gathered his papers. I'll email you everything, he whispered before slipping out the door. Mom, I said, standing up. What are you doing here? Looking for you. The bridal shop is just down the street. Laura's trying on dresses, and I'm in a meeting. I cut in, motioning toward Logan. Mom's eyes narrowed. Are you too? No, Logan said firmly. We're dealing with something else. Something about your other daughter. What's that supposed to mean? I pulled one of Robert's printouts from my bag. Maybe you should see this, Mom. Remember how you never believed me about Laura? She took the paper slowly. I watched her face change, confusion, then shock, then denial, and finally, a crushing realization. This can't be real, she whispered. It is, I said. And there's more. A lot more. Mom sank into a chair. Why would she do this? Because she's always been jealous, Logan said. Because she couldn't stand Patricia being happy. My phone buzzed again, another message from Isabella. She'd sent a document with financial records showing suspicious transfers from Liam's company accounts, all traced back to Laura. Mom, I said gently, there's something else you should know about when Laura really got engaged. 25 minutes later, my mother sat in stunned silence, tears running down her cheeks. All these years, she said quietly, all the times you tried to tell me, I always defended her. You wanted to believe the best about your daughter, I said softly. I have 2 daughters, she said sharply, and I failed to protect one of them. Before I could respond, my phone lit up with a call from Caleb. Patricia, he said quickly, we have a problem. Laura knows you're collecting evidence. She's trying to get ahead of the story.
How?
I asked. She's telling people you're having a breakdown, that you're obsessed with ruining her wedding because you're jealous. She's even talked to some of your clients. I felt the blood drain from my face. Check your business email, my client had said. I pulled out my laptop, opened my inbox, and my stomach sank. 3 cancellations, all mentioning recent revelations. She's trying to destroy my business, I said quietly. Mom stood up suddenly.
No.
Not this time. I'm going to that bridal shop right now. Mom, wait. I've waited long enough, she said firmly. It's time I stop enabling her and start being a mother to both my daughters. After she left, Logan touched my hand. What are you going to do? I opened Isabella's document about Liam's company. I'm going to make sure the truth comes out. All of it. My phone buzzed again, this time a message from Laura. Heard you've been asking questions, little sister. Remember what happened last time you tried to stand up to me? Back off, or your business won't be the only thing you lose. I showed the message to Logan. His face hardened. She's threatening you now? No, I said, standing up. She's making her last mistake. She thinks she can still control the story. But she forgot something important. What's that? I plan weddings for a living now. I know how to create moments people never forget. I texted Amy, get ready. It's time to plan Laura's perfect day. Every last detail. Her reply came instantly. Should I be scared or excited? Both, I wrote back. Definitely both. She did what? I stared at my mother across her kitchen table, coffee untouched between us. Threw a complete tantrum at the bridal shop. Mom said, rubbing her temples. When I confronted her about the evidence, she knocked over 3 wedding dresses and accused me of always loving you more. Classic deflection, Amy muttered from the counter. Liam was there, Mom went on. He looked confused, started asking questions about what evidence we were talking about. My phone buzzed again. Another client cancellation. That makes 4, I said, showing Mom the email. She's systematically destroying everything I've built, just like she did with my wedding. The doorbell rang. Mom answered it, then came back with Liam behind her. Patricia, he said, looking uneasy. Can we talk? Amy straightened. I'll stay. It's okay, I told her. Give us a minute. Once we were alone, Liam paced the kitchen. Laura's been crying all night. Says you're trying to ruin her wedding because you're jealous. But then your mom mentioned evidence. And Isabella called me. What did Isabella tell you? I asked. That Laura broke us up, Liam said. That she used the same trick she allegedly used at your wedding. He ran a hand through his hair. I don't know what to believe. I pulled out my phone and opened the folder with Robert's evidence. Believe this. 25 minutes later, Liam sat with his head in his hands. The company accounts. I gave her access because she said she wanted to learn about finance. I trusted her. We all did.
But why?
Why would she do all this? Because she can't stand anyone else being happy, Mom said from the doorway. We hadn't heard her come back in. Because I spoiled her and excused her behavior until she became someone I don't even recognize. Liam's phone started ringing, Laura's picture flashing on the screen. He declined the call. The wedding is in 4 days, he said quietly. I know she's got everything planned perfectly. 400 guests. Press coverage. She's been calling it the wedding of the year for months. Mom sat down heavily. Liam, what are you going to do? Before he could answer, the front door burst open. Laura stormed in, mascara streaked down her face. You, she shouted, pointing at me. You're poisoning everyone against me. First Mom, now Liam. No one's poisoning anyone, Liam said. We're just finally seeing the truth. Truth. She laughed bitterly. The truth is my sister's always been jealous of me. She can't stand that I'm getting the perfect wedding. She couldn't stand that I got the wedding you made sure I couldn't have, I said quietly. You have no proof, she snapped. Actually, Liam held up his phone. She has plenty of proof, including what you did with my company's money. Laura's face went pale. I can explain. Save it. Mom cut in. I've spent years making excuses for you, Laura. No more. You're all against me. Laura's voice rose to a scream. But the wedding's still happening. Everything's paid for. Everything's arranged. You can't stop it. No one's trying to stop your wedding, I said, standing up. In fact, I wanted to happen exactly as planned. Something in my tone made her hesitate. What does that mean? It means you're going to get the perfect wedding you deserve. Are you threatening me? She asked. No, I said. I'm promising you. You wanted all the attention, you'll get it. You wanted a memorable day. It will be unforgettable. Liam stood up. I need time to think about everything, Liam said. Liam, please. Laura grabbed his arm. Don't listen to them. Remember all our plans, our future. Our future was built on lies, he said, gently removing her hand. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. After Liam left, Laura turned to me, her fake smile gone. You think you've won? I still have the upper hand. Your business is falling apart. Your reputation. My reputation will recover. I cut in. The truth has a way of doing that. The question is, will yours? She stormed out, slamming the door so hard the windows rattled. Mom sank into a chair. What happens now? I picked up my phone and opened my messages. Robert. Isabella. Logan. Caleb. Former clients Laura had lied to. All of them were waiting for my signal. Now, I said, we get ready for a wedding. Patricia, Mom's voice was worried. What are you planning? I thought about all the years of Laura's lies, the people she had hurt, the lives she had damaged. I'm planning justice, I said. The grand ballroom was buzzing with 400 of the city's most important people. Laura had spared no expense: crystal chandeliers, ice sculptures, and enough flowers to fill a greenhouse. She stood in the center in her designer gown, soaking up the attention. Liam hadn't called off the wedding. "Are you ready?" Amy whispered, adjusting my bridesmaid's dress. "Yes," I said. I had accepted the role, much to everyone's surprise, especially Laura's. "Everything's in place," I murmured back. Robert was in the tech booth, ready with the video system. Isabella sat in the third row, holding the evidence files. Logan stood by the bar with Liam's company records. The wedding planner, definitely not me, started guiding people to their seats. Laura caught my eye and smirked, probably thinking she had won by forcing me to stand here, humiliated. The ceremony began. I watched Liam's face as Laura said her vows, wondering if he could hear the emptiness in her words. When the officiant asked if anyone objected, I stayed silent. That wasn't part of the plan. During the reception, the MC announced it was time for speeches. Laura had made sure mine was last, probably expecting me to embarrass myself. I stepped up to the microphone, champagne glass in hand. The room went quiet. For those who don't know me, I'm Patricia, Laura's sister. I smiled at the crowd. And I'm a wedding planner. Laura's smile twitched. In fact, I specialize in crisis management, making sure nothing goes wrong on the perfect day. Making sure no one can sabotage a wedding. The room grew tense. People knew about my ruined wedding, but no one ever talked about it. Laura taught me that skill. I continued. She showed me exactly how a wedding could be destroyed. The fake messages. The canceled vendors. The planned humiliation. "Patricia," Laura warned from her seat. "But today isn't about my wedding," I said. "It's about truth. About consequences." I nodded to Robert. The ballroom screens lit up with evidence, time-stamped messages showing Laura's lies, financial records from Liam's company, and testimony from people she had hurt. "No." Laura jumped up, heading for the tech booth, but Logan stepped in front of her, blocking her path. "Liam," I said, "did you know Laura was already engaged to you when she destroyed my wedding? That she delayed announcing it, so she could take both moments for herself?" Liam stood slowly, his face pale. "Is this true?" "Of course not," Laura shouted. "She's lying." "Actually," Mom's voice rang out as she stood. "We have proof of everything." Isabella stepped forward, holding up her phone. "Including what she did to me, Liam. Same pattern. Same tricks." The crowd murmured. Phones came out, recording everything. "You want to talk about patterns?" I said. "Let's talk about childhood. Every time I achieved something mysterious happened to ruin it. My 8th grade dance dress destroyed. My college acceptance letter somehow lost until after the deadline." "Stop it," Laura whispered, but her voice had lost its edge. "But your biggest mistake," I said, locking eyes with her, "was threatening my business. That gave me nothing left to lose." The screens now showed her recent messages to my clients, the campaign she'd run to destroy my name. "You see," I told the crowd, "my sister wanted a wedding people would never forget." "Congratulations, Laura. You got your wish." Liam stepped forward. "The company money, how much did you take?" "Liam, please." Laura reached for him, but he stepped back. "I can't," Liam said. He looked around the silent room at the evidence still playing on the big screens, then at his bride's crumbling smile. "I can't do this." He walked out. The crowd erupted in whispers. Laura lunged at me, but the security I had quietly arranged stepped in, blocking her. "You ruined everything," she screamed. "No," I said calmly. "You did that all by yourself. I just made sure everyone saw the truth." Our mother stepped forward, tears streaming down her face. "Laura, how could you?" "Mom, don't you see? You've always loved her more. I just wanted to hurt people." Mom shook her head. "To destroy lives? That's not what I raised you to be." The guests began leaving, their phones still recording, their whispers growing louder. Laura's perfect wedding had turned into her worst nightmare, a public humiliation. Amy touched my arm. "We should go." I looked at my sister one last time. She stood alone in her expensive dress, mascara running, her carefully built world falling apart. Karma isn't a punishment, Laura, I said softly. It's a teacher. I hope you learn from this. As we walked away, I heard her break into sobs. But this time, there was no satisfaction in hearing her cry, only a quiet sense of justice finally served. The next morning, sunlight filled my office as I looked over the day's schedule. My phone buzzed with a text from Liam. Meeting with the lawyers today. Thanks for helping build the case. A knock at my door made me look up. My mother stood there holding 2 coffee cups. Thought you might need this, she said, setting one down. Big day, I replied. 3 consultations and a venue walkthrough. I nodded toward the chair. How's the house hunting? Found a nice condo downtown. Smaller, but she trailed off, and I knew she was thinking about the empty rooms in our old house since Laura left town. Have you heard from her? I asked. Mom nodded slowly. She's in therapy. Real therapy this time, not just saying she is. Her therapist reached out and wants to arrange a supervised conversation. I said yes, but you get to decide if and when you're ready. Another knock came. Amy poked her head in. Your 9 o'clock is here. Oh, hi, Mrs. G. I'll let you work, Mom said, standing up. She hesitated in the doorway. Patricia, I'm sorry. I didn't believe you all those years, Mom said. I was so focused on keeping the peace that I didn't see the damage being done. Mom.
No, let me finish.
Watching you handle everything with such grace, even during the wedding, I've never been prouder. After she left, Amy helped me get ready for my consultation. Speaking of the wedding, she said, have you seen the industry newsletter? Your business is booming since the story came out. Turns out being known for exposing wedding sabotage is great for business. I smiled. Who knew? My phone buzzed again. Logan this time. Coffee later?
Need your advice about something.
Before I could reply, my clients arrived, a young couple with nervous looks in their eyes. We heard about what happened at your sister's wedding, the bride said right away. That's why we chose you. We need someone who can spot trouble before it happens. That's exactly what we do here, I assured them. Tell me about your vision. As they described their plans, I noticed a small package on my desk that hadn't been there before. The return address made my heart skip. It was from Laura. After the clients left, I opened it carefully. Inside was a small box and a letter. Dear Patricia, my therapist says I should write to you, but words feel too small. I've spent weeks trying to understand why I did what I did, the jealousy, the need to win, the constant competition. It was all my own insecurity. I couldn't stand seeing you happy because I never learned how to be happy myself. I'm not asking for forgiveness, I don't deserve it, but I am asking for a chance to show you who I'm trying to become. Inside the box is Mom's old charm bracelet, the one we used to fight over as kids. You should have it. You were always the stronger one. Laura. The bracelet sparkled in the morning light, each charm holding a memory from our childhood, before the competition, before the hurt. Amy found me staring at it. You okay? I think I am. I slipped the bracelet into my drawer, ready for the venue walkthrough. Actually, she grinned. There's someone here to see you first. Logan walked in, looking nervous, but determined. Sorry to drop by unannounced. I thought we were meeting for coffee later. We were, he said, pulling out a small velvet box. But I couldn't wait. My heart stopped. Logan. Before you say anything. I know we have history, Logan said. I know I failed you once. But watching you handle everything with such strength and dignity, I fell in love with you all over again. This time I know exactly who you are. He opened the box, showing a simple but beautiful ring. I don't need a big wedding. I just need you. I looked at Amy, who was recording everything on her phone, tears running down her face. I looked at my mother, standing quietly in the doorway, and I thought of the bracelet in my desk drawer, a reminder of how far I'd come. Yes, I said softly, but on one condition. Anything. We elope. He laughed and slid the ring onto my finger. Deal. My phone buzzed one last time. A text from my mother in our family group chat, which still included Laura. Family therapy session next week. Patricia, no pressure, but there's a seat for you if you want it. I looked at the ring on my finger, at Logan's hopeful face, at the business I had built from the ashes of betrayal. Tell them I'll be there, I typed back. Some things are worth rebuilding.